r/AskMen. Cardboard Junkie says, life is hard. What do you do for stress relief? Sword_off_morning says, combination of the following. Go for walks, exercise/gym, watch movies, spend time with the wife, days out, restaurants, etc. seeing the fellas, though this doesn't happen as often anymore. Dr_detonation says, going to the gym can definitely be difficult after a long day, but it's always worth it. Nothing really kills stress like a good workout. Subreddit says, if you can, I would recommend doing it before work. Feels much better and gives you energy for the day. Teller say hello says, bottle it up and then one day wait for a seemingly minuscule inconvenience to completely lose my shit. Garshaman says, just keep pushing it down. Comprehensive Turnip says, real. Former_magician 5352 says, I keep a stock of used toilets. When I need some relief, I shoot them with a shotgun. Knfulman says, double your fun with Tanner Wright. Mojo3474 says, I have a friend of mine that used a bunch of it to blow up a beaver dam. The problem started when his stupid ass brother-in-law thought it would cute to post it on Facebook. The Department of Natural Resources didn't think it was so funny. Sheriff Biomatis says, just sigh and keep on going. Honda 4351 says, I swear that's been me lately, it sucks, I hope you're doing well, man. Sheriff Biomatis says, thanks. Yeah, I'm rather fine by now. I wish you well. As cliche as it is, it does get better. Dr. Forza says, video games, dogs, weed, sex, the boys, art, painting, drawing, modeling, books, movies/shows, occasional escape to very calm places. Mountain_tiger says, jerk off. Keuken says, the most honest answer on here. Pips Vip says, converted the garage to a woodshop years ago. I go make something. Danabandness says, making stuff feels very good. Unclefferty says, I paint. Administrator says, then jerk off. Or vice versa. Hello_dankness_ says, both simultaneously. This_space_for_RNT says, stress relief. What's stress relief? Spiked_macaroon says, copious amounts of marijuana. Virtual sentence 6937 says, wank so hard my dick is numb, then take a long steaming bath. Mardavarat93 says, gym/exercise, weed, video games, ski in the winter, road trips, psychedelic trips. Nom Nom Bathbum says, the gym allows me to just focus on myself and to vent some steam. I'm yet to find something else that does the same while being productive. The Count Not the Saint says, same things most Americans do. Go for a walk in the park, enjoy a hot cup of cocoa, topple a small dictatorship, and replace it with another dictatorship, maybe do some scrapbooking or knitting, and if it is really stressful, some yoga. Gooseboy78 says, do a Aussie style burnout. Then change tires, then repeat. Or Grand Theft Auto, and get in a tank. Mrawals1 says, I believe that a significant part of the problem of accumulating stress is the inability to have control over time, or simply not having free time. We all know that doing things we enjoy, exercising, and spending time with loved ones is the normal way to manage stress. In that sense, it would be great to know what solutions to explore. Zelausidil Luck 784 says, I ride a motorcycle, and I play ukulele. Also enjoy art galleries. Prekar says, if I feel like being social, go out with some friends for a drink at the bar or a dinner hangout. If I feel like being alone, video games, veg out on the couch with a movie, or lay down, and read outside in my backyard. 5 Hacker Down says, pick up others and then slam on the ground. If I do it right more often, it's me who ends up slammed. Freestyle and Greco-Roman wrestling plus MMA. Bob_Burrito says, heavy metal music. Ramage1 says, get my dick hard to and relief, both of them at the same time. BentLife1986 says, the best thing is exercise, especially if you can combine weightlifting with cardio after. I have never left the gym feeling worse than when I showed up. I also play guitar and drums, and if all else fails I smoke some weed or eat an edible and go to sleep. Description Parking 67 says, dance like an idiot to loud music, sex, weed/psychedelics, ranting to a friend. I try to always ask, are you in the headspace for me to rant for a bit? First, run, not a leisurely jog, but sprinting until I can't go any further. Hang out with animals. The SPCAD where I live encourage people to come pet their puppies and kittens for socializing them. It's great. Call_of_Cull who says, drugs. Macamp1983 says, music. Night_call1986 says, gym, go for a drive, re5 mercenaries mode, no mercy, to relieve stress. Right. r/AskMen. Levro93 says, men, do you ever struggle with the feeling of not knowing where do you belong to? SWM50 says, I'm 50 and I still don't know where I belong. Horse says, every goddamn day. Relative_picture_786 says, all the time. But getting older, I have come to understand that I am, and have always been right where I needed to be. Because these present moments are just as necessary as your past ones in order for you to be who you are today. You are doing just fine. Lars Bohanen says, story of my life. I feel like him on safari watching all the other animals, taking notes, observing, but would never live amongst them. All impulsive, all instinctive, the human drives of simple pleasure, deceit, conventional living, platitudes and tropes. Keep me away from all of it. Dude says, nope, because I don't believe we are supposed to belong to anything. Rotcall007 says, society wants men to contribute then die. Welcome to the world. Aknauha2 says, imposter syndrome is real. Maceedle says, I have struggled with that all my life. Still don't know. Talented_full says, I belong wherever my wife is. She is home. Evening_psychology_4 says, you belong in Reddit. It is Wootata says, like career wise? Every single damn time. Reflectivabum says, to some extent I think this is just part of the male aesthetic. I don't know if this is the most apt articulation, but I think one of the biggest differences between men and women is that women are perceived as having an inherent value, whereas men have to cultivate themselves into being an asset. Not saying one or the other is better, I think there are positive and negative ripples that come out of both situations. K0H says, all the time. I just don't burden others with it. 5FT6 Manlud says, kind of. For me it was more of what kind of people do I connect with, and less of where I belong. Jazastrophysicist says, not really, TBH. I've decided where I belong, and it's wherever I am. Identity works best when it's imminent. Sneakier says, ever walk into a room full of people who don't know each other knowing everyone is slightly uncomfortable or feeling awkward while remaining silent, or a bunch of dads who must be cool with each other because their kids are friends? Or when you uproot from so Callan moved to New England, switching from hood burgers and chili cheese fries to overpriced monstrosity big SSS burgers with the dreaded "how would you like your burger cooked?" Ordeal is where one chooses from a hard roll, Portuguese roll, or grinder. Fuck. MaxiKillian_Killinum says, I felt out of place my whole life. So, yeah. I'm just kinda floating around. Friends with wildly different types of people, but at the end of the day just feel alone. Red_beard_rising says, all the time. I just be me in my free time and work with the rest. Irintgatorson says, yes. If you are young, though, this shouldn't stress you out, it should excite you. You have most of your life ahead of you, the world is your oyster. You have time to try things out, and if they flop, no worries, you still have time to try something else. It should be an exciting thing, that you don't know what your purpose is yet. The fun parts of life come from finding that purpose. And by the way, the vast majority of people feel like they don't belong. This is why people are so anxious and depressed all the time, because they don't have a clear path or purpose that leads to a place of perceived belonging. John Bow says, it's the main source of my ongoing depression. Crossbowman44 says, felt that hard starting college. Warping Time says, all the time. I have all these social skills, a best friend who's the Scully to my Mulder, a girlfriend and her lady friends who mother me a whole lot and all that. Yet there's places outside of that I feel like I sort of out of place, no matter how much I qualify as a typical person who's into that stuff. People like to talk about all these ideal traits one should have, what ones to avoid, and you get the picture. But there's loads of people who have a solid circle of friends, but have traits that would prevent that. It's this weird catch-22 that people perpetuate because there's a piece of socializing that's missing. Irregular Bastard says, nope. I know exactly where I belong. Nowhere. 'Tis a silly place. Catosaurus Rex says, yeah. I struggle with not knowing where I belong and not knowing where I want to be. Part of me feels like I'm on a good path, but the other part feels stuck and unsure. Independent_study 119 says, what's the belonging thing all about? Deepad8869 says, I belong to no one, but I give myself freely to every hot chick. Porkidonagod8541 says, nope. But, our son 3 was like that. His was in a different situation. He is a son 2's best friend. He wasn't sure where he belonged. He's white, we are Mexican. We took him in because his step asshole was getting abusive. He wasn't sure if he had become Mexican or what. After their high school graduation, he changed his name to ours. Our granddaughters are bilingual, he's our son. That's all for this video, thank you for watching, please subscribe.